Hello everybody. In this video we're going to work together to answer the question, how can I use the standard algorithm to subtract multi-digit numbers? Now, we're going to do some basic subtraction. We're going to use 2-digit numbers and 3-digit numbers to answer some problems together, so make sure you use your organizer the correct way and that you follow it along. But just to lead off here, when you do multi-digit subtraction, there's a couple of things you want to keep in mind, all right? Now, these are things you probably never heard teachers say over and over and over again, right? So, as a quick little reminder, doing multi-digit subtraction is all about lining up place value. Lining up place values. Okay, making sure that you're lining up the ones place with the ones place, the tens place with the tens place, the hundreds with the underneath the hundreds place, and so on. The other one, okay, is keeping track. Keeping track means keeping track of where you are. Okay, where are you in the problem? Making sure you don't skip over a certain place as you're doing your subtraction, and always knowing what your next step is going to be, kind of anticipating that step. The last thing, it is all about being neat. Now, I'm a teacher, I'm a neat guy, except different kind of neat, all right? All of you are neat students, you're neat people, but this means that teachers can read your work, your partners or your buddies can read your work, and that you can read your own work, right? The easier that you can read your work, okay, the more successful you're going to be at solving these problems. So, let's begin. Now, for your first model problem, let's suppose you have 89 subtract 62, or 89 minus 62. And our answer, our difference, is going to go right down here. And like I said in the beginning slide, we're going to make sure that we line up our place values, and that also includes lining up what your answer is. So, very simply enough, folks, what I'm going to do, and I'll put the answer in a different color, the solution in a different color. I'm going to start with my ones place, and I'm going to start with 9 minus 2. And I know that 9 minus 2 is 7. Now that I've taken care of the ones place, I can do 9 minus 2 just the same as I can also solve 8 minus 6. So I'm going to solve 8 minus 6. And I'm also going to get an answer of 2. So 89 minus 62 is 27. Now, some of you may have thought that this problem, the first one that we did as the model problem, was pretty easy because you were just doing two separate single-digit subtraction problems. But we're gonna up the degree of difficulty here a bit, and we're going to do some regrouping. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to look at this problem carefully. I'm going to figure out what I can and can't do. Okay. So first, I'm going to look 62 minus. Nope. Sorry about that. Stray mark. 62 subtract 27. And I'm going to look over here. I'm going to say, well, 2 subtract 7. I can't do that. So one of the mistakes that you want to avoid, folks, is thinking that you can. And I see more and more, I see more and more students that work too fast. You know, that voice in your head that says you need to rush, right? And they'll put a 5 because if it was 7 minus 2, but it's not. It's 2 subtract 7. So I'm going to look and I'm going to say I can't do 2 minus 7. So I need to go to the next place value. So I'm now going to be looking over at the tens place over here. And I'm going to look at that 6, and I know that 6 is worth 60. And I'm going to take a 10 from there. And if I'm going to take a 10, it's now going to become a 5, okay, or 50. And I'm actually going to take this 2 and I'm going to add a 10 to it. And since I'm going to add a 10 to it, that number is going to become 12. And all of a sudden my problem gets a whole lot easier, because now I'm going to subtract 12 minus 7, and I'm going to get an answer of 5. And I can still do 5 minus 2, and I'm going to get 3. So 62 minus 27 equals 35. Now for practice problem 1, what I'd like you to do is to solve, I'd I'd like you to solve 73 minus 47. Go back and hit rewind. And look at how I solved these problems with regrouping. Look how I solved the ones underneath the model problem section, okay? So solve this one on your own on the organizer. Hit pause while you're solving it, and when you're done, you can resume and see and kind of follow your work or your solution along with how I complete the problem. So welcome back. Hope you had luck with that problem, and please follow along as I solve. I know 3 minus 7 I cannot do, so I need to go over and I need to get a 10, okay, from the tens place, and that's 7. So I'm going to, let's see, I know that when I take a 10 from there, I don't have 7 tens anymore, I'll have 6 tens, okay? Making sure that I keep my new number kind of far away from the old digit. And then I'm going to go ahead and since I took a 10 from here, I'm going to now give this 10 to the 3, and I know that 1 10 plus 3 ones gives me 13, and 13 minus 7 is 6, okay, and 6 minus 4 is 2, so 73 minus 47 equals 26. So for practice problem 2 and practice problem 3 in your organizer, I'd like you to go ahead and to solve, for practice problem 2, solve 83 minus 49. And practice problem 3, I'd like you to go ahead and solve 27 subtract 19. So don't be afraid to rewind, to go back into other portions of the video to refresh your memory on some of the steps. So once again, in this video, what we did is we worked together to answer the question, how can you use the standard algorithm to complete multi-digit subtraction problems? Okay, good luck, and look forward to seeing all your hard work next class.